Trojan Philly, what's up, man? USCJ here. It's the top of the morning. I hope everybody is getting ready to get up, get out, and make some things happen this morning. Listen, we got a couple things we got to talk about in reference to the USC football Trojan offense. Listen, I brought you guys some information yesterday in reference to Lincoln Riley's statistics, the years he's been coaching. Lincoln Riley has maintained a top 10, top 5 offense in the country. It didn't matter what quarterback was there. He's always maintained that, given the fact that he has a creative mind when you're talking about on the offensive side of the ball, innovative guy, best quarterback guru in the country. But here's what I want to ask you guys. We noticed this last year. There were a couple of games last year where I felt like easily could have won the game, whether it was Washington, whether it was Utah. If we would have just slowed down, ran the ball a little more, and you guys remember Marshawn Lloyd was very effective in running the ball, especially against Utah. He had some nice little 20-yard pops. I know it was one game where he had a fumble, but, you know, in spite of that, I think that Marshawn Lloyd was successful, and we had success. Like, it was no reason for us to get away from the run. However, I want to know, we've seen the coaching staff change. We've seen Lincoln Riley do all the necessary changes in reference to defensive side of the ball, hiring DeAnton Lynn, hiring Matt Ince, hiring Eric Henderson, hired Doug Belt, hired all these guys, kept Sean Newell, still have the analyst Buki, Taylor Mays. We got a phenomenal coaching staff, Doug Belt. And so my question is, if I were to say one thing needs to change on offense, it would be slowing it down once we get ahead. I like the shock and awe, getting out there ahead, shocking the opponent, but then slow it down. You guys remember we played against Colorado. I felt like Colorado was a game that all we had to do was run the ball. We didn't have to try to score so quickly and miss opportunities, open guys in the flat. I feel like if we had one thing to correct, it would be just slowing the ball down. And USC, this is a way to keep the defense fresh, a way to keep the defense, because you guys remember during that Colorado game, the altitude was different. And you seen guys with their hands on their hips. And as a result, we seen guys absolutely lost in the sauce, given the altitude. All that plays a role. We have to jump right back on the field. USC jumped out to, I believe it's like 40 points. I want to say 40-14. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, I mean, USC had an opportunity. All they had to do was slow it down. And I think that really needs to be considered. Yes, you can hire a great defensive staff. However, we still got to help our defenders out by helping them get their rest, helping them get their recovery on the sideline. And I think that USC will absolutely be in a great position. USC, Lincoln Riley's never had a problem with scoring. We saw in the Holiday Bowl that there was no drop-off. And here it is right here. You see the Holiday Bowl yards, 443 yards, 1 turnover, and then we had 19 first downs to Louisville, 22 first downs. However, look at the difference as it relates to the time of possession. USC had the ball for 23.26 minutes compared to Louisville, 36.34 minutes. I think we really got to consider the fact that USC can score fast, USC will score fast, but once we score fast, especially in the beginning of the game, as the game continues to flow, as the game continues to go on, it's very essential and important for USC to keep their defenders fresh and keep injury from happening, prevent injuries, by getting these guys rest, giving these guys recovery on the sideline. And you see that over a 10-minute, way over a 10-minute, almost a 13-minute time of possession difference. You're talking about USC can absolutely benefit at that. If we can get the ball, hold the ball, at least, I would say on average, just make it a point to get 30 minutes per possession, I think USC will be in some good shape because there is going to be no drop-off. It doesn't matter what quarterback. You see here, once Miller Moss was able to get the ball, get in the game, start his first game, you see what he was able to do here compared to Louisville, 23 for 33, 372 yards, 6 TDs, 1 INT. And then you see here the runs. Look at the runs. 11 carries, 60 yards. 7 receptions for 99 yards, 2 TDs. You guys remember Marshawn Lloyd was averaging and I think USC was averaging right around a little over 4 yards a carry. And I think we can really utilize the running backs. A guy like Woody Marks, utilize him, given the fact that he is a gifted catcher out of the backfield, and runner as well. We got to really utilize all the talent, all the guys we have. I would like to see Quentin Joyner get in there and Marion Peterson, and then let the bruiser get in there. Let the freshman get in there. Brian Jackson, let him get in there and move and groove. But I think if we set the pace, it will give our offensive line confidence. You see big guys like Elijah Page and Manuel Pregna, see those big guys get in there and establish the run and oppose our will, especially on a team like LSU. And I'm going to get into that once we get the preview going, but their defensive line is not all that strong as well. So I think the same way that they're going to try to establish the run with us, I think we need to try to establish the run with them, as well as make the quick passes, make the quick down the field throws, and move and groove at the offense as well. And for those of you who might have missed that, I showed this yesterday. Somebody missed it because I was talking primarily about the defensive coordinator, but you see Lincoln Riley ranks by season. It will be no drop-off in 2015, 43.5 yards. That ranks third in the country. 2018, 43.9, first in the country. 2017, 45.1, first in the country. 2018, 48.4, first in the country. 2019, 42.1, which is fifth in the country. 2020, 43, which is third in the country. And then 2021, which is 39.1, which is sixth in the country. 2022, 41.4, which is third in the country. That was Caleb Williams' first year, and USC was able to get 41.4 points. And now, crazy and oddly enough, this year was more points. We averaged 41.8, which is third. However, let's help our defense out once these leads get in front. Once we get up to a 14-point league, 14-0 league, or 21-0 league, establish the run. Let's not score too quick. Let's slow it down a little bit so we can help our defense. Because believe it or not, yes, it's fun. Yes, it's shock. Yes, it's good for TV to see USC get out there and establish themselves as a quick strike, potent team, but we got to have our defenders. That's a way for us to preserve our team, preserve our players from getting hurt. So hit me in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. It's USCJ32 on Instagram, USCJ32 on Twitter. I'm out of here. Happy Monday to everybody. Everybody stay blessed.